I think it's a little bit of both. I think having that first season, it's obviously a standard that I've set for myself and something that I look that I can do again in this new coming season. But also, again, it's a fresh page. It's a new season, new team, new look. So I'm really excited to just kind of take a hold of that and use what I've done in the past to push me forward in the future. Yeah, being a leader, I think it's amazing that my teammates see me as someone that they can rely on both on the ice and off the ice. So I hope I continue to do that for my teammates. I think the biggest thing is always making those connections. I think often in the women's game we find that what you are good at off the ice away from the rink is what helps propel you to be amazing on the ice. So getting to know people, because we have a bunch of new faces in our staff, and knowing for who they are as a person is what makes them an amazing staff member, an amazing team member. Yeah, I think we have to look forward. I think, like I said, there was a new look for our team, a lot of new faces, and you know, allowing that our past is something that we can learn from and grow from, but knowing that there's still so much more that we can accomplish. And you know, it's a new season. It's not taken away from whatever happened last year and the success or not so successful moments that you might have had, but using that as, you know, your guidelines to go on to the next year. You know, being in New York, it's such like a hot market for, you know, everything. Like there's sports teams, there's everything that you could think of. So kind of hitting all different pockets maybe of the surrounding area was good for us to figure out where our fan base really lies. Yeah. I think that going to each center, it was great. I mean, each facility was so different and so interesting to kind of see how your daily routine might interact with. But having a home facility in one place and being in Jersey, I'm really excited about it. I think there's a big fan base here anyways from previous teams, obviously the Rivers that were here. So I think honing into that and then honing into our fan base that we had last year and hoping that they all continue to come to New Jersey. It was a lot, obviously. I mean, it's never any fun having to pack up your life again and move, but I mean, that's what you do for the sport you love and continue to do. So I'm happy to be where I am in Jersey here, so really excited for the season. Great question. I don't know if I know my overall rating from previous teams. If anybody can help me out there, I would like, but I don't know. But maybe in the 80s, somewhere around there, I think is maybe a standard answer. I don't know what to say. 88 sounds good. Sure.
Like the P88 stick?
Sure, P88.
All right, we got that.
Yeah, I mean, great statement in the sense that, you know, we've established ourselves in our centers. We know what to expect from a day-to-day, and hopefully those growing pains that we had last year become, you know, not maybe at the forefront of everybody's brain. And hockey is always the #1 thing. I think when you think back to the beginning of the year, it still was about hockey in some capacity. I mean, they put this league together with the snap of a finger pretty much. So, I mean, hockey's always been, I think, the priority, and, you know, you kind of grow through that as well. But yeah, I think this year there will be a lot more time to really focus on, you know, your day-to-day off the ice, your day-to-day on the ice, your practices, and like I said, growing from those growing pains will be huge for the season. I would say I mean, honestly, expectations going into last year, I think you had to be very open-minded and very patient in general. So I think for me, my biggest thing in New York is having one building playing out of. I'm really excited to kind of call this home and feel like we can really rally around that. I know other centers might have different answers because they were in one building anyways the whole time. So for us, I would say that's the biggest thing for me. Yeah, I've had a lot of interactions with Fargo. I mean, small world when you get into the hockey world, when you meet people, or even like my brother's wife used to play under him as well. So a lot of connections to help understand who Greg is as a person outside of being under or meeting him for the first time or being his player. I'm just really excited. I think he's got a really open mind and he's been super communicative with us and sharing his desires for this team. So I think that's always the first step in having a good relationship, is having good communication, and that will hopefully propel us into success this year. I don't know what my off days look like yet. I just got here just after being at the rivalry series, so I haven't really had an off day yet. But hopefully there'll be some more exploring of the city and the Jersey area. I heard Jersey's known for their diners.
Yes,
is that right?
And bagels.
Okay, bagels and diners. Okay.
Pizza for
pizza.
New York.
Okay, I'm not necessarily. I would go to a diner, I think, before I go to a pizza joint. So I went to Top's Diner the other day with my dad. Is that I hear that's a pretty big one.
That's
so
a good choice.
It's a good choice. Okay, I'm off to a good start then with those.
So you have your ideas of what you want your off days to look like.
Yeah, I think even being here at Cody for practices, I mean, the zoo's right there. I know a couple teammates have already gone and explored it, so I think it'd be fun if our team were able to go do that, and yeah, just doing things like that. There's a hint of everything. I would say when we're all professional at this point. I think when we go to our pro teams like New York or Toronto, you know, that's your team, that's who you're playing for, and those are the people you're backing. And then when we go to our national teams, it's easy to that feels very comfortable for a lot of people. So I think we all know what to expect going there as well. But yeah, I think it's easy to compare notes, and I think it's important to compare notes. Then you can kind of help each other and help our centers, because we are one entity, right? We're all the PWHL, and I think it's important to be able to share what works for them, what doesn't work for you, and you know, even if you try it here in our own center, it might not work, it might work, and could be great, could be bad, you never know. So, but yeah, not too much trash talk. I think the biggest thing for me that I learned last season is that my ceiling is still growing. I would say I haven't really reached my full potential, and I'm really excited for year 2 to kind of help find that. I think I did a lot of great things, and learning that there's a lot more that I can contribute than just playing like defensively. I think there's a lot of offense and being very solidified in my game. I would say I'm a very fast physical player, and finding a new level of that I think will help me be even more in this coming season.